Alright, everybody, welcome back to another turn of Operation Schultz. This is going to be turn 13 for the British Commonwealth and the Free French. Before we get into it, a few minor bits of housekeeping. The oldest bit just never got addressed. When I attacked Bengal in my last video, in the very last round of combat, one of those misses that I counted was actually a hit. So the one of those extra infantry should have died. Um, it doesn't really affect anything. There were no further rounds of combat, so just nothing further than that. Also, in southern India, at the end of the video and on the file that was passed over, there was a fighter there. It's already been moved over to Bengal, where it was originally intended to land. Couldn't land in southern India. And I think that was all the housekeeping, so let's just jump straight into it. I have already rolled the tech on Dice Maiden. I got a hit of a 12 on Advanced Artillery, which does bring me up to level 4. And I missed with a 2 on LRA. Okay, for buys, GB is buying 2 Advanced Artillery, 5 Militia, 2 Militia upgrades, a Railroad in Rough Terrain, so that's 4 IPs, and then Lend-Leasing and Infantry. And that brings them to 29 total, which clears their bank. FEC is buying a AAA, 2 Militia and a Militia upgrade, leaving them with 1 remaining. And Anzac is building a AAA to Lend-Lease, leaving them with 2. Alright, combats, we've got some pretty big ones here, so let's go. We're going to attack the Japanese in the Indian Ocean. From P70, the 2 FEC destroyers and the light cruiser in port are moving 1, 2, 3, 4, and attacking in I-12. They're going to be joined by the British coastal sub from I-13. Okay, one of these 2 destroyers that came from Australia is going to be pairing with the seaplane from Delhi that's going to map into the sea zone, and then they're both going to be able to hit that submarine. Excellent. Okay. And then there's going to be there's going to be one more ship joining that combat. It's going to be the TBD from Suez. It's going to move 1, 2, 3, and join that combat. So those 3 ships cannot hit the sub, and then 1 ship can, and then the seaplane can. And then I also have a sub. Okay, and then there is going to be a continuing force as well. And that's going to consist of the FEC light carrier and the GB heavy cruiser from the south side of Suez, Lower Egypt, and they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and move just into the Bay of Bengal. Along the way, they're going to be joined by the battleship in Aden, and they're all going to be joined by the heavy cruiser, which was in port in Calcutta. So maybe we'll have that again later, but we don't need it right now. Okay. It's going to be those 4 ships against his 3 ships. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, so that's the attacks against the Japanese. In the land here, in Delhi, 2 infantry are attacking Benares, and they're going to be joined by everything from Punjab, which is 1 Anzac infantry and 2 Gurkhas. And they're just going to attack Benares unsupported, just like that. No combats, no combats. These are combat moves. In Spain, the ships in Gibraltar, everything that isn't pulled off separate from the first. So 2 destroyers and the light carrier are going to be moving in the non-combat phase, but everything that isn't doing that is going to be just popping out into A44 so that units can come and go into the C zone, and if Germany wants to attack them, well, they're not going to have a good day, so they won't do that. But technically, moving through that C zone is a combat move. So we're going to continue doing that. The coastal defense ship from port in Galicia and Leon is going to move south and join the first fleet in A44. And then all of them are going to just go right back in port at the end of the turn. So before I forget any of that, that's where they'll end up. They're just hanging out in the C zone for as long as they need to let ships come and go before going back in port. And then more combat moves. The tactical bomber in southern England is mapping an A21. And then the fighter from southern England is going to attack Scotland, joined by an infantry and a militia from northern England. Alright, that'll do it. I do not have any sub-rating to do. The Japanese just ordered my sub. Yep, okay, let's go ahead and get straight into it. I'm going to roll in England first, because I'm already here. We'll roll for the fighter in green, the 2 infantry class attacking at 1 in the mountains in blue, and the defender at 2 in cyan. Hit from the fighter, not from the defender. Okay. And that is that. Okay. Rolling for the... we'll use the green one. Mapping against the submarine here. Ooh, I did forget a combat. The seaplane in Galicia and Leon is mapping onto the submarine in A44 as well, which I guess will help me with the non-combats. But I wanted to already move that to the combat move. I guess I moved the ship through before I mapped the submarine. It doesn't really matter. Okay, roll for the submarine, 7 or less. God dang it. Okay, rolling for the submarine here. Rolling need a 5 or less to kill it. Miss. Okay. Should have not used that die. Delete it forever. Okay. No more combats. No more combats. Combats. Okay, let's do Benares first. We have 5 attacking at 2, I believe, and 1 defending at 4. No rivers. Yeah, that's what it is. So that's what we'll do. All misses for me, 1 hit for him. 1 in the English is dead. GB infantry. All misses all around. All misses all around. Hit. And he got a hit too. Okay. Let me decide who to kill. It's definitely one of these guys is dead. And then I think Anzac's gonna die. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Okay. Let's do the I-12 attack first. That's the screening attack. It has to go first. So we'll roll the seaplane in red, and then the matching destroyer in light blue. We'll just roll those separately, and then we'll have to mix and match some of the colors. We can make it work. We'll make it work. Okay, so okay. And then we need a 4, a 5, and a 2 and a 2 with target select. So 4, 5, 2, 2 with target select. And then I want these to be 4s actually, so they're all consistent. And this will be, I don't have any 3s, whatever, I'll just use brown. Okay, so there's no first strike because both sides have destroyers. Let's just roll them out. Okay, so the defenders roll a 3 and 3 4s. 1 hit. On attack, the map and the paired destroyer. 1 hit. So the submarine is dead. And I'm going to take the hit on the TBD. So the TBD rolls at 2. The sub rolls at 2. Cruiser. And destroyer. Okay. That's a hit. And that's it. So that's 1 non-sub hit. And then I took a hit. Okay, so that's 1 destroyer dead. And I sustained 1 hit, which I'm going to take the TBD as stated. Okay, round 2 defense. 1 hit. It's going to go on the sub. Round 2 attack. The seaplane is no longer relevant. It can't hit anything else. But it can be taken as a casualty next round if I wanted to. So let's just roll for round 2 attack. Miss, 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 miss. Oh, Damn. Okay. I really need this to succeed, though, so I'm going to keep pressing. Round 3, defense. There's another hit. Attack. 2 hits. That's all. That's what I needed. Okay. So 1's destroyer's dead, and 2 of his destroyers are dead. I'm actually... I killed the sub. Maybe... Ah. Destroyers are cheaper if they get sent from America. I'll take the sub as the hit. Okay. And then the only 2 units which remain in I-12 are a light cruiser for Anzac and an FEC destroyer. Okay, now let's roll for the I-11 fight, which has 6, 6, and 8 on attack, and 3 4s on defense. Yeah, that's all there is. That's a tight fight. Alright, let's go. Absolutely nothing on attack. 1 hit on defense. Okay. Battleships hit. Pressing. 2 hits on attack. Nothing on defense. Nice. Okay. Nothing on defense, and there's my hits on attack. Okay. So, in the end, everything the Japanese have is destroyed. There's gonna be... I'll make a marker that this battleship is damaged very clearly. But that was the only hit we actually took. The rest of the ships made it through. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. And then let's get on to the non-combats then, I believe. We did all the combats. Yep. Alright. Let's start in Australia. In New South Wales, the 1 infantry, 1 militia are marching into Queensland. In South Australia, 1 infantry, 1 militia are marching into New South Wales. And from Sydney, 1 marine and 1 militia are marching into New South Wales. And that will be all of the movement shuffling around there. Okay. In Australia, nothing is going to change. It's going to be like it is. The ships are going to go in port in Calcutta, the ones they can, which is all of them in I-11. Sorry. Alright. Okay, so that's done. In Suez, we got a few units arriving here. From Suez, 1 infantry is going to rail into Nubia. The naval transport, one of the 2 FEC naval transports, which starts in Nubia, is going to strategic naval move 1, 2, 3, and just hang out in I-1, I-4, whatever that is, next to Cape Town. Okay, those are ship movements, those are French movements. In Cape Town, the AAA is just walking over to South Africa. Come on. Okay. So let's go to Gibraltar. From Gibraltar, as stated earlier, the light carrier and 2 destroyers for GB are moving 1, 2, 3 into the Red Sea and going in port in Suez. So those are the ships that stayed out of A44. Yeah, okay. Also, there should be a naval transport joining, and that would be the Anzac Naval Transport in A35 from Galicia and Leon. It's moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also going in port in the same place. Excellent. Okay. Aircraft in Catalonia. The airborne in Catalonia is going to board the air transport, and they're going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and land in Aden from I-4. The FEC fighter from Catalonia is going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and land in Suez. And the 2 GB fighters remaining in Spain are going to fly to Gibraltar. Yeah, okay. Lastly, the artillery from Basque Country is going to move into Galicia and Leon. Okay. Oh, I didn't land some aircraft. The seaplane from A44 is landing back where... Yeah, he's going to land back where he started. That's good enough. The tactical bomber is going to land back in southern England. And the fighter is going to land in northern England. Alright, that should be all the aircraft that combat moved. I already landed the seaplane from I-12 into Calcutta. Okay, continuing then. Done everything in Spain. Last to do is just 1 infantry. Two infantry from southern England are going to walk into northern England. That'll do. Yeah, okay. And then let's go ahead and place buys, collect income. The Anzac AAA is actually being lend-leased to the CCP, and the infantry lend-leased by the British is going to Turkey. Okay. The rail is being built between Belgian Congo and Sudan. The 2 advanced artillery are going to be placed in Cape Town. The one of the militia is going to be placed in Sudan. one in northern England, one in southern England, a militia and a militia upgrade each in Gibraltar and in Basque Country. So that's just functionally one extra infantry in each. Right. And of course that infantry is going into Istanbul. Oh, I did forget. Oh man, I did have a combat move there. I'm supposed to be controlling the Turkish right now. The infantry from Ankara is going to rail into Istanbul because he has that controlled rail connection there. The other two units are just going to attack Karadnitz and hope for the best. So let's go ahead and roll that real quick. So we have a defender rolling at 2 in red. First strike roll at 2. Miss. And then the cavalry also rolls at 2. So it's everyone's rolling at 2. Attacker hit. Okay. Okay. Alright, okay, now they're squared away for the match, or for the player turn. I do have to do a recruit roll right at the end, but we'll do everything in its proper time when I actually remember to do so. The FEC AAA is of course going in Calcutta. The infantry, or the militia upgrade and militia, so basically just an infantry, is also going in Calcutta. The militia is going to go in Delhi. Okay. And then, of course, the CCP AAA is going into Kwangtung, is the port that I can use. I guess I could use Hong Kong. Kwangtung, which is this army, I think. Yeah, this one goes here. Alright, there we go. Collect income and recruit roll. Let's go and do the recruit roll. Need a hit on a 4. No islands. Nope. Okay, 4 or less. Damn. Okay. Alright. Let's get on with collecting income in Free France. Income right now should be 28 plus the 3, so that's 31. FEC is 6 plus the 2. Brings me to 9 after savings. Anzac just brings me to 8 after savings with no bonus collected. Okay. And Free France, I'm buying an infantry, which clears my bank, and then I'll also collect 3, so I'm not even going to mess with the bank, it'll just stay at 3. But I do have some shuffling of units around to do in Africa, so let's go ahead and do that. No combats. Yeah, definitely no combats. Okay, so from Belgian Congo, 1 infantry is walking into Rhodesia, 1 infantry is railing to South Africa. From Cameroon, everything that can move, which is 2 infantry and a AAA, are walking into Belgian Congo. And from Chad, 1 infantry is walking into Cameroon, 1 infantry is walking into Sudan. And that covers everything. I seem to have neglected the British Commonwealth now has a full rail connection in their possession between Cape Town and Lower Egypt, so they get a free airfield, um, and that is going to go in Suez. There we go. Okay, and the French are going to place their infantry for the turn in Cameroon, and that is them done. Alright, I should be ready to pass the board off roughly to Davik for his Italian turn. I'll run through a quick unit recap for our friends on real boards, so let's go ahead and get straight into it in Australia. No naval units anywhere near Australia. In New Zealand and, well, in North and South Island of New Zealand, I have just one militia. In Sydney, 4 militia. New South Wales has 3 militia, 1 infantry, 1 marine. Queensland has 2 militia, 1 infantry. And that is all. Alright, moving on towards FEC holdings. In I-12, there is 1 FEC destroyer, 1 Anzac light cruiser just hanging out in the sea zone. In I-11, there's nothing. Everything is in port. Okay. So the only territories I own that have any units here are Delhi, which has 1 militia, Benares, which has 1 GB infantry and 2 Gurkhas, and Calcutta, which has 3 militia, 7 Gurkhas, 5 infantry, 2 AAA, a GB seaplane. In port, there's an FEC light carrier, 2 GB heavy cruisers, and a GB battleship. And that is the only thing we have anywhere in India. Alright, in the Middle East, we have in Aden a British transport plane, airborne, and a militia. In Transjordan, we have a militia. I guess I should be tracking Turkey now too. So in Ankara we have nothing, in Akdeniz we have nothing, in Karadeniz we have a cavalry and an artillery, and in Istanbul we have 6 infantry. Just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And, oh, I do want to move the Turkish destroyer. He's going to come into the Red Sea. 1, 2. He's just going to hang out there. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I did, yeah, okay. Okay, so moving on to the Mediterranean. We have 1 submarine and M8. That's the only unit on the sea zones. In Gibraltar, I have 4 infantry, 1 militia, 2 fighters. In port, 2 destroyers, 1 light cruiser, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light carrier, 1 CDS, and 1 FEC battleship for the British Commonwealth, and 2 destroyers for the French. In Catalonia, we have only 1 infantry, or 1 militia, not 1 infantry. In Basque Country, we have 1 militia, 8 infantry, 2 colonial infantry, and 1 mountain infantry. In Galicia and Leon, we have 1 artillery, 1 seaplane, And in port is 2 naval transports. And that covers all of Spain. Morocco has 2 Free French militia, 2 Free French Foreign Legion, 3 Free French infantry. Moving further south, nothing south of the Sahara immediately. Cameroon has 2 infantry and a militia. Belgian Congo has 1 GB militia, 3 Free French infantry, and 1 Free French AAA. Rhodesia has 1 Free French infantry. South Africa has 1 Free French infantry, 1 GB AAA. Cape Town has 2 militia, 2 advanced artillery, and a seaplane. I-1 has an FEC transport just hanging out because nothing nearby can hit it. In Sudan, we have 1 British militia, 1 Free French infantry. I'm not sure if I already covered Sudan, but I should cover it again if I didn't, or if I did. Nubia has 1 militia, 1 infantry, and 1 Anzac infantry. 1 Anzac motor infantry. And Suez has 7 infantry, 1 AAA, 1 Marine, 1 militia, 1 FEC fighter, and then in port is 1 battleship, 1 light carrier, 2 destroyers, and an FEC naval transport and an Anzac naval transport. And that circles all the way back around the rest of Africa. Okay, and the last thing I'm missing is just the British Home Islands. Yeah. Okay, so London has 2 militia, an infantry, and a AAA. Southern England has 3 militia, and a tactical bomber. Northern England has 2 infantry, a militia, and a fighter. Scotland has an infantry and a militia. Alright, with that, I do believe everything should be available to pass off the board to direct for the Italians, so best of luck, and see you guys later.